How Long Gone is here. Jason is here. Chris is here. Do we make sure we have our Zoom recording set, Chris, before?
I have been checking that out this morning multiple times. I think it is corrected, and if I'll check once again, of course, before our guest joins us.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, how are you? It's only been one day since we podcasted, but you're off to Miami. So we're squeezing one.
Yeah, I
in here
mean, you don't
on
have to.
Wednesday.
You don't have to keep lifting the curtain to let these people know. When we're recording, it's none of their fucking business.
Well, it is none of their business, but it is a great way to have a natural transition into talking about you going to Miami, which is really exciting. And
Yeah.
if you want to step on that, feel free to step on
No,
that.
I'm very excited.
If you want to do a 50-50 grind all over my transition,
Bro,
be my guest. I'll be here to clean up the mess. So what are you doing out in Miami? You excited? You nervous? You scared? What's going on?
I'll do that 50-50 switch, just FYI. But I am I'm excited. There's some business out there. Something I've been working on. This watch marketplace called Bezel is launching. So we're having some events in Miami and
They're called experiences.
they're
actually,
experiences. But I haven't been to Miami in years. It's just so far from LA. This flight is cursed. I got a layover in Atlanta.
It's not. I mean, it's like around the same amount of time as flying to New York. It's not that long.
Yeah, but I go to New York feels like a place you're going to make money. Miami feels like a place you're going to spend money. You know what I'm saying, Chief?
Oh, okay. I thought you were just talking about miles traveled, hours, minutes in the sky. You're talking about
yeah.
Well, that's what you were talking about. What you really meant to say is that when you go to New York, you're there to make money. One of the cheapest cities to live in. It's a great place to stack your cash. But you're saying Miami, you're not going to get any work done because you're going to be drinking some virgin pina coladas by the Soho House pool, checking out the talent. I get it.
Diz is going to take me to ZZ's, the new Mario Carbone spot, the hottest spot where I can build with the Sultan. And then I'm gonna hit Barry's South Beach. I mean, it's gonna be a motion picture, of course, but all this stuff sounds like it's gonna cost me money, TJ. If you're reading between the lines,
I don't think you have to read between the lines to know that it costs money to have a good time in Miami. It's currently the most expensive city in America to live in. So
I know.
That is what it is. But also, Miami is a place that is expensive everywhere. It's expensive right now, paying rent, restaurants, bar, whatever, all that stuff. But the two biggest, expenses for a trip to Miami, drugs and alcohol, and you ain't doing neither of those. The only drug dealer that you're giving money to goes by the name of Barry.
That's true. But
so I think all in all, it'll be fine.
But I might link up with my boy LeBron and hit Unknown and ball out. You know what I mean? I might need to get some sweaters or something.
I don't know what Unknown is. I know you're talking about LeBron James.
I'm talking about basketball player LeBron James. He's part owner of a retail establishment in Miami called Unknown.
Okay, is it a good spot? Cool stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it might lean a little.
Who are some of their hero brands? Have I heard of any of them?
We did do a Tom Brown capsule collection with them.
Oh, okay.
Which they sell everything. It's a good store. I've never been though. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I haven't been to Miami in so long.
with your jokey demeanor, it's hard to tell if you're being sarcastic or not. I wasn't sure.
First of all,
but this place does sound legit.
I'm never sarcastic about LeBron James, the greatest player of our time, Jason. You know that.
Okay,
I take basketball. I take basketball very seriously. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it's going to be a 9-hour travel day. And there's not going to be a lot of healthy options when I land. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to it.
But you do have a layover. I'm just want to double check, confirm. Chris Black has a layover.
No, there was no direct flight on Delta from LAX to FLL or I think there might have been one to Miami, but it was like some crazy, like it was a red eye type shit.
It was out of your price range, out of your budget. Yeah, that's tough, man. Because I've flown direct. Every time I go to Miami, I always fly direct, but maybe that's because I was taking like a different airline. Who knows?
Yeah. If you take JetBlue, one of your preferred domestic partners, that might be possible. And
JetBlue is fucking not. It gets much worse than JetBlue.
No,
JetBlue is not a dig.
because JetBlue is a fake airline masquerading as a real one. And that's the issue I have with them because
How do you have a fake airline is what I want to know.
You don't really fly internationally. Dominican Republic ain't international.
So to make an airline a legitimate, real one in your eyes, you need some transcontinental flight?
Yeah, is that...
You don't like any domestic?
No. I mean, of course domestic is great. And that's...
Of course you fly domestic mostly, but you don't want it. You don't want to be involved unless it's established enough.
Well, I just think if you're going to earn all these miles so you can, fly to Tulsa? Like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's only, like, the only ones that are really bringing home the bacon are the long hauls. And, I mean, maybe JetBlue offers that now, but, you know.
Well, not everyone is living their life around miles, though, Chris.
Well, that's their loss, because if you're taking JetBlue, if you're using your JetBlue Discover card to get points and then you eat your free, root vegetable chips, that's not...
Okay, well,
that's not...
riddle me this then, Chris. So... Let's say, I've flown to Miami, let's say 10 times in my life. I've never had a layover before.
Of course.
I always fly direct either to Fort Lauderdale or Miami.
Uh-huh.
Let's say that's a 4.5 hour flight, but then you're doing a 9 hour travel day, so literally doubling the time.
No, it's not actually. I'm being dramatic.
You would rather take a layover.
Yes.
And stick with Delta versus...
Yeah, of course. That's the whole point. That's how they get you. That's the point of a loyalty program.
Well, that's the point for them. For you, you're just... Yeah. They're the puppet master, and they're saying dance, and you say, do you like how I'm dancing, Mr. Delta? Please, I want Delta Diamond.
My upgrades have been confirmed. My luggage is free to check if I feel the need to do so. I get treated with fucking respect. They come to my seat and say, Mr. Black, thank you for being a Diamond Medallion member. And Jason, that stuff adds up to me. I'm an experienced guy. You know what I mean? And the experience in some of these other airlines just ain't up to snizuff.
How about this? Our airplane will fly to the city that you're going to be in. You can do that, or we'll fly to a different one. You can go get a chicken Caesar wrap and then fill up your water bottle at the canteen station.
Mm-hmm.
Hour and a half, 2 hours later, hopping on a different plane, and then flying to the city you want. But when we do that, I'm going to have some bitch come up and say hi to you and thanks for flying.
Exactly.
With us.
And I'm going to get 10,000 and I'm going to get 10,000 I've never used miles to book a flight in my life. I just like to see them go up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another look. I'm not saying this is the right way to do things, and maybe.
Oh no, that's mental illness, love.
This is the Chris way, and it works for me, Chief. And if you want to I know you want to fly from Burbank on Spirit, and you're going to save a little money and pay for water. And that's by all means, Chief, do you.
I want to fly out of Burbank Delta, not on Spirit, Chris. Come on.
No,
I mean even when I was broke. Even when I was rapping through the wire, when I was podcasting through the wire, I was like, Spirit, nah. I'll walk.
When you had a broken ankle, that was you podcasting through the wire on Tall Tales.
I try to make a band. Yeah, that was me.
That's a good idea. No, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm jealous. That's one. I mean, I'm a little sad that Miami turned into a crypto douche nozzle, most expensive, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
City. That part sucks because like the real good parts of Miami are so cool. I just love going there and just acting like a local. Just walk around, get a fucking smoothie, take a nap on the beach.
Yeah.
Whatever. Smoke some cigs at Mandolin, do some coke at 11, get a lappy. Get some fucking yambos at 4 a.m.
I'm in the market for a new lappy right now. I was on apple.com earlier today. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. You're talking about a Lapbook Pro?
Yeah. What if they renamed it Lapbook?
Flip it over. I eat my dinner off that bitch. Watching Wheel of Fortune.
I use it as a TV tray when I'm devouring Jeopardy so I can talk about
Got my glass of milk on the backside. Y'all don't leave a milk ring on my Lapbook Pro.
Jason left a whole milk ring on my lap book.
Chris, before we introduce our guest, Indigo, who's coming up soon.
Of course.
I know that you are on a no dessert embargo. Doesn't touch your lips.
That's true.
We're not going to talk about what happened last night, but you like to do a workaround where sometimes if you're feeling a little on the horny side for some kind of sweet treat, you will say, this isn't dessert, that's breakfast, right?
Exactly.
That's a card that you'll pull out of your sleeve every once in a while. Because I'm sort of in the same boat as you. Like I'll have a treat if I'm going out, but at home, I'm not really doing the desserts, but we do be eating a lot of cereal for dessert. So is that because cereal is too, you're not, you won't be able to withstand the powers of the temptations of cereal? Because you love the puffins, right?
I used to eat puffins by the handful like it was going out of style, but luckily I've moved on from that. And the sugary cereal, until we get sponsored by Magic Spoon, it's not touching my lips.
I like that we're putting puffins in the sugary cereal category, and I didn't do no Magic Spoon. That shit tastes like Splenda. I put that on God.
It does taste like Splenda and tires. All
just
right,
give me, I'll just have a fucking Honey Nut Cheerio. Goddamn.
No, that's like a classic Cheerio. You can't really beat that with a nice cold pour of soy milk. Oh baby.
I mean,
I feel like I'm living in a house with 5 guys that are all wearing Victory Record shirts when I have a bite of that.
And the soy milk is coming in the box. It's shelf stable and it doesn't need to be refrigerated. That's number one. And number two, all the homies who are eating the cereal on the couch with you are holding the spoon kind of overhand grip. They did not take a kind of a cotillion manners course on how to hold the silverware. They are holding it kind of like a Cro-Magnon person.
I hate the overhand grip. All right, but yeah, Indigo De Souza is joining us today on the podcast live from, I believe, North Carolina. Her new album, Any Shape You Take, is out now, and I believe it's on the legendary Saddle Creek label. Nebraska.
She's going on tour and all that shit. She's playing Pitchfork Fest on the one good day out of the 3 days, not the lesbian day and not the dusty day. So why don't we go ahead and give Indigo a call, and we will talk about all kinds of very cool stuff. So Indigo, we were just talking before we started recording about how you have such a great professional setup, beautiful microphone, beautiful kind of purple headphones. What kind of headphones are those?
Audio Technica.
Okay, we got some ATs stand up, and we were talking about how we've had all these platinum producers, musicians, all these people on here. Like we had Benny Blanco on the podcast. You've heard of him, right? Little guy, really into dicks.
I'm sorry, but no.
Damn, that's actually you're cool.
He like writes like Justin Bieber songs and stuff, like millionaire, crazy, super successful producer. And he recorded the episode walking around his backyard on speakerphone on his iPhone.
Wow,
just like a mom at the supermarket type shit.
Dang,
do better. That's what I say.
I get it though.
It was a do better moment.
It was a power move. You ever do power moves, Indigo?
No.
You don't seem like the kind of person. You seem like you're too nice and sweet to do a power move.
I think that's true.
And you and I are kind of the same. And Chris, that power move is all he knows.
Whoa.
I don't know if that's the case, but I think that Indigo, as your star rises, it's very possible that your power moves might also rise. And
wow.
That's
you're going to turn into a crazy ass bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I can actually feel that happening. So.
Oh, really? You're starting to get a little swag?
I just think I used to kind of let people walk all over me, and the more shit I have to do every day, the more of a diva I become.
It's a classic tale. That doesn't even apply necessarily to the music business. That's just life in general. Like as soon as
but since we're all working on ourselves, you're not becoming a diva. And I hate to use the D word, you're just setting up healthy boundaries, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah, that's actually what
Indigo,
it looks like.
Indigo, it's great talking to you. Have a good one. Album's out now. Catch her at P4.
I think that setting up healthy boundaries in the professional space is important for success, and
baby.
I don't have that relationship. He kind of contacts me whenever he feels like it, even when I have do not disturb on.
Even when you're like taking a dookie.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm busy, really busy, Jason.
When he's taking one of his dookies, he does not like to be disturbed, and he does like this. This better be good.
Yeah, it better be good. Because if somebody calls my phone, it should be money on the other end. I don't know if you feel the same way.
It should be a bag or a death in the family. Oh, there's only 2 reasons to call me.
Because you're considerably younger than us, do you FaceTime raw? Like, do you hit people FaceTime? Like, do you just FaceTime the homies instead of calling or texting?
No, a lot of my friends are like that, but I just have never gotten comfortable with FaceTime. And I never used Zoom until the pandemic hit. And I feel like I'm still getting used to that. So
Yeah, Zoom sucks.
It sucks. Look, we all are still getting used to it. I never used it before either. I never used it before either, but I think that
used to hate it.
yeah, I still hate it, but it serves its purpose in a way that I'm sure, because did you have to do all your promo on Zoom basically?
yes.
Yeah, fuck that.
So how, out of all the interviews and podcasts and shit that you've done over the last year, like how much of them have been like really just fucking stupid? And
I would
boring?
say about 95%.
Jesus, that bad?
You didn't do, but there had to be something. There had to be like at least a couple bucket list, kind of like, oh hell yeah, I'm doing like NPR, like whatever it may be.
I got you get Nardwar, some shit like that.
Dang. Well, actually, none of them felt like bucket listers because I just have never really been a person who's read any music news or kept up with music news in any way. To be honest, it was all just kind of a mystery to me.
You really do live in Asheville, North Carolina. You really prove that. You guys got Wi-Fi, but you don't even use it if you don't have to. You prefer not to use it.
Well, I like that. It makes sense. But also that way, if you don't have a good manager who's telling you what to do, then you'll be like, everyone that emails me is a big journalist, so I better talk to everyone. And then you talk to them, and then you're like, oh, this guy is a little rough. Or,
Yeah, it's true.
like they're interviewing me, but he keeps telling me about like his life and like, let me tell you about my cat. And you're like, okay, bro, don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I was actually listening to a podcast with Mark Zuckerberg yesterday, speaking of Zoom, and he was talking about how even though when we're looking at each other directly into each other's eyes on the screen, you can never actually look into somebody's eyes over Zoom. Like you look just straight through them. Like I'm right now, Chris, I'm staring right into your fucking face, right into your eyes, and it's just like you're an image.
Oh, does it normally feel weird for you when you look in people's eyes?
Yeah, it is.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
Jason's not as much of an intimidator. I kind of try to look people in the eye to make sure that they give me the money on time, and like I don't want to have to hurt them or anything. But Jason's a little nicer, so he's a little more sheepish when it comes to eye contact.
I feel like I look people in the eyes just to make sure that they know that I know that they're there. You know.
That's
Well, I look at people in the eyes, but it's actually more if I feel like you're a friend or I like you and we're having like a close, like we're sitting on a couch having a conversation together or like across from each other at dinner, that's when I get weird about eye contact. But if you're a random person I don't know and I don't like you stole my parking spot, I'm staring right through you, baby. I'm going right in
passive
there.
aggressive TJ strikes again. What's up? So what's up in Asheville? Because like Jason and I've actually been there together.
Other than Mellow Mushroom and stores that sell Dreamcatcher, what else you got going on over there?
I mean, there's a lot going on under the surface.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that was actually a great way to refer to like downtown Asheville.
That's cute.
And I honestly just don't really go there. I think a lot of people who have lived here for a long time don't really spend a lot of time downtown.
That's like the touristy
Yeah,
area.
exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, but I honestly am barely ever here anymore because I'm just touring or flying somewhere to do something a lot. But when I am here, I spend a lot of time just like exploring the woods and going on fun like trips to the swamp with my friends and mostly being
Going down to the swamp?
You and your friend.
the swamp. Yeah.
So how much weed are you smoking? Because it sounds like a
I
lot.
actually don't smoke weed. I used to smoke a lot of
eat
weed
it?
in high school.
You shoot it? You shoot it up? Is that why?
You figured out a way. You figured out a way to get it faster.
No, most of the time I'm stone cold sober.
So you're stone cold sober hitting the swamp, and what do you guys do? What are the swamp activities? You riding gators? Like what's the
Walk me through the smell. Is the swamp just for looking, or do you get in the swamp sometimes?
Yeah, I have never gotten in it, but
Okay.
my friends have gotten in it. I'm a little scared of the gators, even though they're kind of small and probably are more scared of me. than I am of
Small
them.
gator is still a gator.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still afraid of the gator.
It'll still fuck your afternoon up.
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes your friends will be like, "Ooh, I just gotta get in that swamp for a little bit."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a special swamp place that we go to, and it's really important for me to spend time there when I'm home from tour because it's like so far away from society. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
nice.
Is this like a local common swamp that other townsfolk go to, or is this a place that only you know?
No, yeah, it's a place that only we know. And
That's where I was going. That's where I was going, Indigo.
Yeah.
So
But that's special. And otherwise, I'm mostly just here in the town that I live in outside of Asheville. And I just have a lot of friends here, and we just play games and hang out and dance and make food. And yeah, it's honestly a good time.
yeah, you're living
Love
a
it.
pretty idyllic lifestyle. Jason and I are wrapped up in this hustle and bustle of the big city, and it just it chews me up and spits me out every damn day.
Yeah, that's what I hear from people who live in big cities. I'm sorry.
Don't big city shame me.
I love you clowning us for living in big cities, like these fucking losers.
Have fun with your little metropolitan area. But I gotta say, all the activities, you're like, we dance and we play games and we make food. This sounds like a fire that you should be sprinkling some marijuana on top of, is what I'm saying. Like all the stuff that you probably like take a nap around 4.
I'm not very good at taking naps.
I got something that'll help you out. It's called hitting the fucking 6-footer.
So you're post drugs and you're going to the swamp and you're just hanging out. I feel like the true joys of life have found you early. You know, I don't know if I could have made it through my early 20s without a little assistance, if you know what I'm saying.
A little nose swamp.
I don't know. I guess from like a young age, I just realized that I just don't care about being a part of society in the way that most people are, and just wanted to have as much fun and like be as connected to people that I love as I can before I die. I just like, we only have one time to do this thing, and I just don't want to waste any time doing stuff I don't want to do. So yeah, I just play music and do my job, and then when I'm not doing that, I just really have fun.
Damn.
Great way to live.
I'm sold. I'm fucking sold.
It's nice to put that life philosophy into, a pretty simple sentence, but
Yeah.
which is a great thing to do, and it'll help everyone listening. Do you remember the last time you did something that you didn't want to do?
Don't say this podcast either. Just
No, they made sure, they double checked with me like a few times to make sure I actually wanted to do this. I listened to you guys before I came on, and I was like, yeah, they seem nice. I'll do it.
Yeah, we're nice. We're nice.
okay,
But-
good. I love.
Yeah, I would say things I don't want to do have probably all had to do with my job. Just smaller like interviews or things that feel like important for me to do, but I'm not necessarily in the mood to do it, or I'm just tired, or
Sure.
sometimes when we're on tour, I feel so exhausted and like I can't go on anymore, but I do go on. But I mean, those are all fine. I'm okay with those sacrifices because, yeah, it's all working towards something that I love to do. And I support a lot of people that I think are really talented through my business as well. So, yeah, it feels important.
I'm sorry. Are you referring to like touring as the business, or is there like a separate business?
She manages a Kinkas.
Oh, no, I mean like just me and touring. And
Oh, okay.
there's just so many, there's like an insane amount of people that just work
Congrats. That's
doing
great.
things
Yeah.
for me on a daily basis. And my bandmates are full-time musicians now. And like, yeah, it's just a whole operation with many people involved. And I'm really happy that I get to support all of them, and that we get to do something that's kind of fun instead of something that's kind of life-sucking, you know?
It'd be so cool if you were my boss.
Yeah.
I was at the beginning of this show. I said you're hired, but now I'm like, you hire me.
Yeah, I'm willing to. I can't tune a guitar, but I can learn. I'm a pretty quick learner. Even though I'm older, I kind of take to things quick. So
He's good at Venmo and Square app. If you need to do any merch sales, Chris is your guy. He'll talk a woman with white gloves into a ketchup popsicle like that. The guy's a bulldog.
Whoa, did you just come up with that?
no, he didn't.
Unfortunately,
Oh.
that's a classic salesman lie.
That's
But
stolen.
it's pretty good.
Wow,
huh?
I've never heard that. That was wild.
To sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves. I remember hearing that as a kid and being like, damn, I get it. That's a great fucking salesman.
Now, do you like touring, or do you just get burnt out? Because we toured and I got burnt out.
I love touring, but I definitely get burnt out pretty much every time if it's over a month.
When you're in Minneapolis on a Tuesday in January, the inspiration isn't hitting quite the same as Coachella.
Yeah, the songs that I sing are just really emotional and take a lot of energy, and it feels like every single show, I'm basically just screaming as loud as I can for an hour. And sometimes before I go on stage, I'm super anxious, and it carries through the whole performance. Like, I just get more and more anxious and want to shut down, but I'm like, I have to keep performing. Enough of those will kind of start to beat me down, but I still always feel like I'm doing something important and still doing something fulfilling, but it can feel really hard, and my throat can like start giving out at times too.
Just the real problems. Yeah. Do you find it hard to come down after you play? Like, is it hard to go to sleep, or are you able to come down?
Yeah, usually right after I play, I'm pretty exhausted. Like, I could probably fall asleep right then. But I do have a hard time sleeping on tour, though.
All those people that work for her are actually guys that just carry her out of the green room on a couch that she's fallen asleep on.
Oh, that would be awesome.
She's done. I'm done. These guys carry me. This guy plays bass, but he's a better carrier kind of than bass player.
Once you get on like the Prince level, then you can have not handlers but carriers to literally just carry you into a little bed.
You bring your own fainting couch with you to every show. That's just kind of there for you to plop down on after you finish.
Do you guys know about the tour that I just went on? I was supporting Lucy Dacus, and she was singing on a couch throughout the whole tour because she had 2 herniated discs. So she was actually laying down on a couch throughout the whole tour. It was wild. I was very impressed that she was able to sing like that.
I think I heard about that, or maybe saw a picture of it, but that is very intense. That seems very difficult to do.
Yeah.
You know, it is a business, and you can't just be like, we're moving the tour 6 months because I fucked myself up. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the downside of this beautiful job that you have.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Those are big shows. Those are big shows, though, right?
Yeah.
And you're opening for My Morning Jacket as well on tour? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, in the summertime.
Jesus Christ,
So you're
man.
just going
That's like...
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that's very big. That's going to be a lot of bros drinking IPAs. I don't know if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a new demographic for me. I feel like I'm often playing to the same kind of people, and I'm excited to branch out.
Could you describe your demographic in maybe 2 sentences? What the average concert goer looks like?
Just like young, hip, and depressed.
Young, hip, and depressed. Okay.
Yeah.
How young are we? Like 18 young or younger?
Teenagers, but also people in their 20s mostly.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
Okay, young, hip, and depressed. That's a good demographic. So that's also not very descriptive because you described everyone.
Right.
Every young person is depressed, and half of them look hip.
That's true.
But she's throwing her net wide, which is important for the bottom line.
It's good that you make depressed music.
It's the only kind of music worth listening to. I mean, I don't know if you're, I find if you've listened to sad music for as long as I have, like, I don't think of it that way. Like, if you get in my car and I'm just listening to like Elliott Smith, people are like, "Bro, are you good?" And I'm like, "This is just good music. This is just music. This is just like what I listen to." Like, I don't even really process at a certain point, like, oh yeah, this is like depressing for some people.
I guess when you're old, like if I'm listening to Morrissey now, everyone's like, "Cool, this song rocks," like that's it.
Yeah. It does have a different context if you're younger. What did you listen to growing up?
What's some of the saddest shit that you listen to?
Yeah, like what's your saddest shit? Like,
I want your Mount Sadmore.
I had an Elliott Smith record when I was really young. I don't know what age it was, but I got like my first record player, and I had an Elliott Smith record and a Mumford and Sons record and a Frank Sinatra record, and that was it.
That's the most first three records I've ever heard of in my life.
That's so sick. I really love that lineup. That's a great lineup. I wouldn't even know which order to listen. There's just so much great stuff there.
We got Old Blue Eyes.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to choose.
I guess between Mumford and Elliott Smith, God took the wrong one. Am I right, Indigo?
Oh God, no comment.
Look, you're opening for My Morning Jacket, not Mumford and Sons. Just because they sound the same, they're wildly different. One of them was from Tony Hawk Pro Skate.
I think this My Morning Jacket tour is really going to open your eyes because those guys are on some like Grateful Dead level shit.
I know. Yeah, I'm so curious to see what they're like just as people.
But they're kind of good looking. Like, do they have like a female fan base as well? Not just IPA bros?
Probably.
I think it's big enough where it's like everybody's there in
I think
a way.
I saw them play a long time ago, like the Roxy. I think when they were kind of younger and hotter and a little more. What's the other Sex on Fire band? What is that one?
That's Kings of Leon.
Right. They were like a little. They weren't as hot as Kings of Leon, but like
Nobody was, to be fair.
nobody was, nobody is. But they were still young enough, and they probably hadn't got fat and all that stuff yet. So there was some talent in the crowd checking them out.
He's like a big. I mean, he's very famous. Jim J, like the singer, is like a pretty famous. You know, he's like out and about. He's on other people's records and shit. You know what I mean?
He's out and about. He's out the swamps. He's going around.
Indigo, you better learn the catalog because they're going to call you out. You know what I mean? They're going to want you to do a song with them, so you need to kind of go ahead and study it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she's really putting that one on the top of the list. We were talking about Asheville earlier, the Mellow Mushroom. Is that a pizza place that you enjoy going to, or is it kind of just mids?
The only memories I have of that restaurant are from before I lived here when I was really young, and my mom would bring me to Asheville to like busk on the streets.
Oh shit!
We would go to Mellow Mushroom, and I don't think I even understood
how good it was.
Of
course,
or
yeah.
that it was a chain or anything. And now it's just like I have no idea. I haven't been there in years.
Right, okay.
No, next time we're in the same city that has a Mellow Mushroom, we're taking you out. It's on us.
Okay, I'm down.
You can get whatever you want from the kids menu.
You want a side of ranch? You want
Yes.
a side of ranch? Let's do 3. But I like to picture you singing your Mumford and Son songs on the sidewalk. Somebody flips a nickel into a top hat upside down.
Yeah.
And then 4 hours later, you guys got enough for a slice of cheese.
Yeah, that's basically it.
She's like, that's basically. Did your mom now? Were you the only one performing, or were you and mom a duet?
Oh, no, it's just me. My mom like really pushed me to perform in front of people when I was young because I was super shy, and it was really hard for me to do that, but she wanted me to get used to it. So she would kind of make me busk. Like, I mean, I guess I could have just run away if I wanted to, but she would tell me that I needed to. And then I have memories of like crying and being like, I don't want to busk. It's embarrassing. But
I don't want to busk.
And like really just not wanting to. But for some reason, I always ended up doing it. And then
yeah, of course,
there would always be like a little crowd gathering, and it would always end up being a good thing that I did it. But it was always really embarrassing.
That's pretty high up there with unnerving things.
Yeah, but how old were you when this was going on though?
I mean, I started doing that probably when I was 11.
Okay.
So you're doing covers, and it's just you and the guitar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's good. Your mom was kind of smart, had the presence of mind to push you at that early age and get it out of your system. So then when you're actually, performing age and you become a woman, an adult, then no problemo.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you're 16 and your mom is dragging you to go busk on the sidewalk.
That's true.
Like, it ain't happening. It'd be like, fuck you, mom. Fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. Like when you're 11, you're just like, I don't know. I get pizza at the end. Like, I hate this.
It could be worse.
It's for the better. It's like when you're 5 and they just push you in the deep end and you're like, all right, I'm alive.
What was the set list looking like? Like, how do you decide what to play?
I mostly played my own songs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was writing a lot of songs when I was really young. I was like obsessive about it.
I didn't even know how to write when I was 11.
But I would also play some covers. But I was just really into that kind of, I don't know what to call it, but that wave of like folk music that happened that was like of Monsters and Men and Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros and Mumford and Sons. I would play like Regina Spektor songs, Jack Johnson songs.
Damn, you're all over the
Bright
place.
Eyes.
Shorty got range.
Yeah, we luckily for you, we've lived through all of that, and can safely say that I think that Edward Sharpe is probably the worst one of that. But at the same time. At the same time, though, that song was so fucking big, and that song, I bet he's going to eat off that song for the rest of his life.
Yeah, it's gonna buy him tons of houses.
Exactly. There was a New York Times story about him recently that he's become like kind of like a
Times will write about anything now. Huh?
he's like a guru now and writes this like newsletter.
Really?
He has a Substack basically.
That's weird.
That is weird. I'll check it out. I mean,
It's probably he's going to turn into crypto in 6 months if he hasn't already. I think I could see him going there pretty quickly.
so Indigo, you've been talking about your mom. I feel like your mom is a freak.
Yeah.
Like, how much of a freak is your mom?
Oh.
She said, "Oh."
I mean, I can give you some like examples of some of her freakiest moments.
We all have a friend with a freaky mom or a freaky aunt.
I love it.
And it's a spectrum. It's a scale,
Yeah.
depending on, number of cats you own and DIY projects and things like that. Are you collecting insects, stuff like that?
Okay, collecting insects. She collects bones that she finds. And also one time I came home and there was a little brown lump on this tin. And I was like, what is that, Mom? And she was like, oh my God, you won't believe what that is. Guess what it is? And I was like, I don't know. I just can't.
A brown lump on a tin.
And
Okay.
I was like, is it poop? Like, what? And she's like, yeah, it's a poop. Guess which animal it's from? And I couldn't guess. And she was like, it's a frog poop. Can you believe it? It's huge. And she's like, I watched it poop that out. It was so big, I had to keep it.
What the fuck?
So that's like one example.
Okay, way to start off strong, Indigo. I gotta say. So
Where are we going from there? I mean,
so are you in possession of this brown lump, and maybe you'll pass it on to your grandchildren?
She definitely still has it in a jar somewhere. Because I remember it being like 3 years after I initially saw it. And I was like, that thing is still sitting there. Like, wow.
this already went further than I thought it was going to go. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty happy to hear more.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let's see what else. There was like this one year. She always has really wild Halloween costumes. But there was this one year that she was a hermaphrodite for Halloween. And she made like a penis with like stockings and stuffing, and then she had like a pretty lady outfit on the outside, and she would flash her penis all night at people. That was probably like one of her top Halloween costumes. She has like a truck that has just like naked Barbie dolls all over it, and action figures on it, and pictures of like countries that have been bombed with flames like all on the sides. There was this one time when she decided to do this installation where she just had her friend tied up with a chain, and he was dressed as this kind of like imp thing.
Yeah. A dom and a sub.
Yeah, and she dressed up as like a dom kind of, and they just went through town like acting crazy with this chain around his neck. And that town is really small and conservative, and people just literally didn't know what the fuck was going on. And she just loved that. It just really fed something for her.
But your mom is like a functioning member of society and like doing like she's
she is. Definitely. She's a really hard worker.
Because you're describing the activities of somebody who might live in a van down by the swamp. And like, we check on her from time to time. Yeah. But you're like, she's like a normal person who's like out and doing things and working and creating and providing to the community and things like that.
She's worked really hard her whole life. When I was growing up, she had multiple different restaurants and like a bakery and an art gallery / studio. She had this store that was like called a free store at one point, where people just dropped off stuff they didn't want, and then she would organize it, and other people would come in and just take stuff that they wanted.
Wow.
Okay.
She's done a lot of stuff, and I really look up to her. She's just like, she doesn't really care what people think, and she's always just made her art and worked really hard. And
I fuck with that.
Yeah, I fuck with that. So what kind of restaurants are we talking about? I'm going to guess vegan or vegetarian.
She is vegetarian, but she has always cooked meat my whole life. Even though she's vegetarian, she hasn't eaten meat since she was a teenager. She's still really good at cooking all kinds of things. She's
interesting.
Yeah, she had just like a kind of miscellaneous menu restaurant once, and then she had pizza.
Miscellaneous
place.
menu is a good name for
How
a
would you
restaurant.
describe it? It's miscellaneous. The fare is miscellaneous.
Whatever she's in the
Yeah.
mood for at that
And
day.
she had a pizza restaurant. I remember that the pizza restaurant was basically just run by her. Like, there was no one else in the kitchen, but it was really popular, and so it'd be like totally filled with people, and she was the only person that was cooking. And at one point, when I was really young, I used to like help out waitressing there sometimes. I remember one time it was so busy, and it was literally just me and her in there, and it felt like insane for that to be the case. But yeah, she's always been like a really hard worker, but also doesn't really trust other people to like be able to have the same work ethic as her. So she's constantly like carrying a lot of the weight on her own.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to someone in this discussion, and it's not Jason. You know what I mean? I feel your mom and I can relate on a lot of levels.
No, I have a lot of that as well. It's not that I don't think that somebody is not going to be able to do a job as well as me, but it's like to be done in the certain way that I like it to be done.
Yeah.
And then it's going to take more time to explain to hire somebody and explain, I like to cook the pizza just like this and I serve it just like this and the top, and you're like, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you end up like resenting everyone around you, and the stress and anxiety eats you up and takes decades off of your life.
Did she play any music at all, or did you find this yourself and she was just very encouraging?
Mostly just Mumford.
My dad is the musical bone.
I think I read that he's like a Brazilian like guitar player.
Yeah, I feel like I got it from him genes wise, but also he has not been in my life at all really since I was 3. I've seen him probably, like, I can count on 2 hands how many times I've seen him since then. So it's not like he's been around to teach me anything, but I think just genes wise, he passed something along. Yeah.
You have the musical DNA in you, but otherwise, adios.
Yeah.
Well, fuck him.
Yeah, I have accountant DNA, so it's a little less cool, but I mean,
Whoa.
I know. It didn't.
Yeah,
it
that's
didn't.
alien to me.
Indigo, it's alien to me too, and that's the problem. That's why I that's the whole issue with it. But I think that I think the DNA thing is real though, because I mean, that seems like. Was he successful as a musician, or was this like a hobby?
I mean, he's successful in some way. Like he can get gigs really easily. He's mostly stayed in this one area in Connecticut, and that's where he makes his entire living, is just playing gigs in that area and playing at parties and bars and restaurants for people. Everyone just kind of like knows him and hires him constantly.
He's the guy.
And he just shreds. Does he sing too, or is it just shredding?
He sings too, yeah.
Okay.
But most of the time he lives in Brazil. Half of my family lives in Brazil, and he has a wife in Brazil, and he just comes back to the US and like periodically, and he'll just play a bunch of gigs and save that money, and then he'll go back to Brazil, and that money is worth more in Brazil, so he goes back and forth.
That's crazy that he's like, I just gotta go over to Connecticut and do some Fleetwood Mac covers for 3 weeks, and then I'm good.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. It's hard for me to understand.
But both of you guys are constantly on tour, is what it sounds like.
It's true.
But just on different lanes.
Yeah.
Have you ever played in Brazil yourself?
No, I actually haven't been to Brazil. I went when I was 3 one time, but I haven't been since. So,
has anyone on Instagram comments ever asked if you would want to come to Brazil?
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be a good. I mean, because I'm already picturing your life as kind of like a screenplay so far, and I'm seeing the scenes of your mom busking you out on the street as a youngster.
Okay.
There's the dad leaves, you go, but then it all kind of ends in Brazil. You're playing. A soccer stadium somewhere in Rio de Janeiro. There's 300,000 to 400,000 people there. And then, your dad and that side of the family comes.
Yeah, we play a song together on stage and everyone cries.
No. He doesn't get artists. He doesn't get backstage.
He doesn't get AAA.
We'll do VIP in the balcony. Like he'll have a great seat for the family and his new family. They can have good seats, and then you get to be like, yeah, suck my dick. You know?
Yeah,
but in a good way, you know?
In a nice, not Disney way, but like a WB way. You know?
I wrote this song actually about my dad like not being around, and it's really like heavy, and there are like these parts in the song where I just like scream the most blood curdling scream that I can, and
like no lyrics, just screaming.
No, it's just like
purely emotion being let out.
Yeah,
only the
exactly.
rage that somebody can experience when their parent leaves you as a child.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, but that always feels really satisfying. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it if he's ever in the audience. I can't decide.
I think that's the climax of this film, so you better think twice. It's you don't have much of a choice. It's Tarantino's already signed on to direct, so just think about that when you're making these decisions.
Yeah, I'm in Brazil.
I think that would be a beautiful thing to return to the roots. Well, how likely once obviously your career is going very well, but you are in the early stages of it. I'm assuming you're still a young person. At a certain point, you are going to reach that Mumford level where you can buy many houses or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Fingers crossed. At what point are you going to say fuck it and then just start living off the grid?
I don't know. I don't know that I'll ever completely give it up. But just from experiencing the way that touring beats me down, I have realized that there definitely needs to be more space in between touring, and that I need to, one day I'll be able to be more intentional about the shows I play and the things I decide to do, because I'll have more money and don't need to do as much as I'm doing right now. But I'll always do it, I think, in some respects, because I love doing it, and it feels important, the way that it affects listeners.
I guess when I said living off the grid, I meant less. I didn't mean quitting music or performing. I mean literally
quitting society and performing.
Quitting society fully. I feel like you've got one foot in, one foot out.
Right. I mean, as soon as possible.
once you get enough fuck you money. Okay.
Yeah, a couple years from now, I hope.
Unfortunately, when David from CAA calls and the bag is too big, she has to leave her tiny home, to make it out there. But I mean,
that's the situation she's in now, or that you're in now, is like, hey, do you want to open for blah blah blah? It starts in a month, and you're like, fuck. I mean, yeah, I do, but like the timing is bad. Like basically, what I'm saying is like you don't get to make the decision of when things happen. You just kind of say yes or no for now. But then in a couple years, then you can be like, I'm going on tour from here to here because I'm headlining.
Yeah.
I'll do it whenever I want to. I'm not at the whim of somebody else.
Totally.
If you don't want to have Wi-Fi in those kind of in between periods, that's up to you. It's totally fine if you don't want to have Wi-Fi, as long as there's a little bit of cell signal.
Yeah.
Walk us through your digital detax routines. How connected are you?
Oh God, I don't have any routines like that.
Oh God, do you use Instagram, or do you only use it for work?
I use I don't go on Instagram just to look at what other people are doing. I guess I've just like lost interest in that over time. There's just it just feels kind of boring to me. But I mostly use it to post about dates, and just whenever I feel called to say something on there, I will. And it's always been like a really great tool for that. I've always used it really earnestly, and just I just make sure to say honestly how I feel. And that has always been kind of a nice way to connect with people. But otherwise, I'm not a huge fan of social media in general.
I get that vibe from you.
I feel like I'm learning a lot of lessons today, Jason.
Whoa.
I think it was good for Chris to see how some other people have happy, healthy lifestyles without all of the things that Chris needs to maintain his level of sanity.
No, it's true, because usually, Indigo, I have to be honest with you, earnestness bothers me. But I'm finding yours really appealing and very how do I put this? It's like it just seems, I don't know, it's very charming because I know it's real. You know what I mean? I can tell that you're just like, I don't know, bro. This is just what I'm doing, and like, you can get down or lay down, chief. I don't know. That's what we do over here, and I think that that's very rare in today's polite society. I think there's a lot of pleasing going on that we all do that usually makes our lives easier to an extent, but I think you've kind of gone the other way, and I'm sure you're wonderful to deal with on like a business level because you like know what the deal is. You're not like fully detached from reality. Yeah. But you have a healthy understanding of like what actually matters and what doesn't.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. This feels like a very sweet compliment.
Despite not doing drugs.
Yeah. Despite not doing drugs. Yeah. Because I think that I just think that it's, I mean, I think about this a lot because my parents are really normal, like really, really normal, that when you have the freak parents, you learn a lot of stuff early that like either works or it doesn't work. Like you go OD and you're a drug addict by the time you're 16, or you
can hear color.
Yeah, exactly. Or you live this kind of evolved in an evolved way at a young age because you've been exposed to so much when you're like in your formative years.
My mom just kind of let me do whatever, like let me make my own mistakes, and gave me some advice or suggestions, but she always let me just kind of figure stuff out on my own, and that felt like that kind of freedom taught me a lot, and I feel like I learned a lot. I went through a lot of crazy shit and a lot of heavy stuff, but came out on the other end like feeling like I really knew myself.
Beautiful.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have 2 siblings. They're twin sisters. And one of them is actually pregnant with twins right now, which is wild.
Whoa.
That's how it goes. I'm actually a twin myself, but not identical.
Oh.
And that's something that I wonder if I ever have kids, like, because if that's the case, then I'm all set.
My sister has twins too. There's a lot of twins in my life, and seems like a hellscape, to be honest with you. You know.
Truly,
a lot of money. I mean, they're cute. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of money, a lot of time. So they're older. Your sisters are older than you.
Yeah, they're 11 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
a lot of interesting dynamics going on.
There's a lot of interesting dynamics going on here. Yeah, There's
a lot of Virgo energy in the room. Suddenly, I don't know why.
Yeah, they're also my half sisters, so they have a different dad who also was actually even less in the picture than mine was.
If you thought it was possible that he was actually less in the picture than mine was.
I gotta say, I mean, are your sisters single? Not the pregnant one, but you know, they got a lot of common. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, the pregnant one actually is single.
Let's go.
But the other one, no. Mm-hmm. But they're both beautiful and wonderful, yeah.
Jason's into some freaky stuff, but I don't know if he's gotten fully into pregnant women yet. I think we still have a little bit of time.
Actually, I've never had an experience sexually with a pregnant person, but I was at the gym last week and I saw a pregnant woman working out, and I don't know, something about the lighting or I don't know, whatever happened, but I was floored by the beauty of the pregnant woman's shape for some reason.
I think that's just biological.
I know. Well, obviously it's biological, but it's not something that was the first time I experienced it in my life, and I'm like 40, so like usually you know what you're into by the time you're a fully realized adult. Mm-hmm. And I was always, I was like, pregnant person, that's cool, but I'm not, I don't have a boner because of that. And then last week, I didn't have a boner, but
What normally gives you a boner?
Great question.
Standard stuff.
Standard stuff.
Because we were talking about like a specific kink like that. Like, I'm trying to think if there's anything that's.
I don't know if I was trying to talk about that.
Look, you asked the question.
I was just saying my sister's having some babies.
No, you asked me what kind of stuff gives you a boner, okay?
Yeah.
So you have blood on your hands too.
That's a direct question.
But yeah, just standard stuff. But now we're adding standard pregnant stuff. Chicks if they are if they're my type and pregnant. It's not off the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Jason has an open heart and an open mind, and I want to make sure the listener knows that, because sometimes he feels a little closed off.
No, actually, we did an episode, just the last episode that we recorded yesterday. We were talking about people who have a fetish for people who are injured with a cast, with crutches, things like that. Is that something that you have ever heard of or experienced?
No, I've never heard of that.
You see a guy with like a broken leg, and you're like, want me some of that?
No, I've never gotten a boner for that before.
Okay, well, most people haven't, but it is a real thing that is out there.
We wanted to check with you. Yeah, we wanted to check with you because the guest was also a musician. So maybe we thought it was like a touring thing. You know what I mean? You guys are jumping around. There's a lot of injuries that can happen on stage if you're really leaving it all.
Yeah. Do you think that Lucy is up on stage with a herniated disc and someone's watching her like, oh yeah,
maybe
walk me through that hernia? Do you need me to rub a balm on your lower back?
Yeah, exactly. Let me take care of you, shorty. Let me help you.
Yeah, but the herniated disc, you don't have any apparatuses that can really get you going sexually. You know, there needs to be a
help.
Some type of, like a crutch
Like
or
a
a wheelchair.
A swing. Yeah,
a sex swing.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Sex swing is for sex. I'm talking about like the swing. You know when like in the movies or a cartoon when somebody breaks every bone in their body and they're in the hospital.
Oh, they're like
just,
hung
like,
up,
being like suspended from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Then that yes.
Whoa.
Because, but not. You know, just in terms of medical boners, you know?
Yeah, Jason's
a sex swing is just a sex boner.
Yeah, it's a regular. It's kind of down the middle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What kind of you know, the other thing we talk about a lot on this well, there's two things we talk about a lot on this podcast. One is exercise. Mm-hmm. So I would love to know how much yoga you're doing. And number two is,
I thought I said yogurt.
We like to. Yeah, she's a big Dannon chick. Now we wanted to find out if.
I'm assuming that you and your mom make your own yogurts, right?
Do we? Oh no. I think my mom does, but I don't have time for that.
Your mom definitely makes yogurt, and my mom makes yogurt too. No shade.
It seems, but we'd like to talk to musicians about, and I know your career is still taking off, but you know, what kind of syncs have you done? You know, have you gotten a big check for putting one of your songs in like a commercial or a movie or maybe a trailer or anything?
Young Sheldon episode.
I haven't done any giant syncs yet. I tried to get a sync for this commercial recently, and they had a bunch of musicians all make the same song, and then they did not choose mine. And I really put a lot of work into it. It was really sad that I lost all that money. But but
I'm very sad that I don't have that money.
I can really relate to you. Yeah, I can really relate to you because I hate when I don't get the money.
How much money was this? You know, you didn't get it, so we could
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. Isn't that confidential? I don't know. I guess not. I didn't say who it was.
Yeah, you didn't say who it was. How much are we talking about?
Okay, it was $100,000 I lost.
Woo!
Okay, all right. That's pretty real.
Okay, I now relate with your struggle and plight.
Mm-hmm. So
I was thinking, is this going to be a little 7,500? Manager takes 10. No.
But it's okay. There will be more of those, and yeah. But I'm kind of just getting started with syncs because I am this year, before the end of the year, I'll be signing a deal with a publishing company.
Publisher, of course, yeah.
And I haven't been working with anyone from publishing before this, so
we need to get once she gets the publishing deal, Jason, she's definitely going off the grid. We got to run that. That's it.
That is the plan. I'm just saving up for a house that's far away from people, and also I want to have enough money so that everyone I love can do the same thing.
So it sounds like to me that you're planning for a commune, basically.
Yeah, something like that, but a commune where like everyone just does their own thing.
Sure. And
sometimes we see each other, but it's not like we're sharing all our stuff.
Yeah, so it's like neighbors that you like. Mm-hmm. You know,
exactly.
I see. That's a novel concept, and I think that America needs more of that. But how much further out can
But don't take my radishes or my pumpkins that I'm growing.
Yeah, and my name is on the soy milk in the fridge, and I look at how much you drink. If you don't even have a little splash for your cold brew. Don't try that with me. How much further out could you go though? Like I like, where are you going to go?
Yeah, do you have a plan? Do you have a part of the world?
I don't think I want to be super far away from people, but at least like 10 miles from any neighbors.
Okay.
Just so that there's like peace and quiet, but but so that I can still go to things and be involved in a community.
So you could still go close enough to Whole Foods, get your whatever food you need. But then when you're really out, but 10 miles from any neighbor that's very secluded. Is that scary to you? That's scary to me. What I'm asking is, what kind of gun do you have?
No, I don't believe in guns, but I do love to just be able to walk around naked and during the summer and have, I would love to just not have to worry about people around.
Not have to worry about the peepers, the town peeper.
I can see my neighbor right now, and this is making me rethink everything. Yeah, how much time have you spent in New York City, Indigo?
I actually used to love New York City before the pandemic, and I was about to move there before the pandemic as well. Classic story. And then I didn't move there because of the pandemic. I can't tell you how many people I've heard tell that same story. But it used to have this like magical effect on me, and I just felt like there was so much potential there and so many people I could connect with. But something happened over the pandemic, and it really is just that I made all these friends that live out in the country, and this one friend in particular has like a 25-acre plot of land that just has like a river flowing through it, and it's really beautiful, and there's no neighbors for miles, and you can go hiking for hours and swimming and without running into anyone.
Butt ass naked the entire time.
Yes. We're always all naked out there, and
butt naked, nothing but some hokas on.
It feels great, and it just like changed my perception of city living, and I went back to New York City after spending a lot of the pandemic just out in the woods, and had a totally different feeling there. I just started to feel really anxious, or like there were too many sounds, or I was too claustrophobic. And so now I don't think I would ever want to live in a city full time, but I do have a dream of having an apartment once I have all that money someday. I would love to have a small apartment in New York City just so I can visit my friends who still live there. Because there are people that are important to me that live there, and I do like visiting sometimes, but yeah, I wouldn't want to live there.
I think that's a perfect plan. Have the big, have the acreage out in the country, middle of nowhere. Got your Titty Creek out there, the whole thing, and then I'm the same way. I love New York, but I could never live there full time. Yeah, I need to just kind of. But when you go and visit, a couple times a year, and you go in and you leave as soon as it's overwhelming or whatever, it is still a very magical place. And I think as you get older, you'll go in and out of magic levels with New York.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Speak for yourself, losers. New York is the greatest city in the world. That's really what it's all about. Jason lives in the suburbs now, so he's basically in the woods.
It's the greatest. Cocaine's the greatest drug in the world, but see what happens when you do it every day, Chris.
That's true.
Where do you live, Jason?
I live in Glendale.
Which is nice.
You familiar with Glendale?
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's just a chill place. I just hang out at the park, but it is a park that is surrounded by houses and lots of people. I'm not as off the grid as you are, but I do require solitude, or else I start to go a little anxious.
It's actually crazy. Where I live right now is I live on Main Street in a town. I guess I can't really say where because I don't want to say that.
You shouldn't say. You shouldn't say.
But exactly I live in this town where everyone knows everyone. Yeah, it just is like such a special feeling. Live where you can just walk out on the street and see people that and everyone in all the stores. And then my friend who has that plot of land is like 10 minutes from me, so I kind of get the best of both worlds, which is good.
Fucking sick.
But California is nice. I visit there sometimes for work. I'm going there next week.
Okay. Are you playing a show?
No. I'm actually doing like a shoot for this campaign for this company. I guess I don't know why. I just never feel like I know if I can say stuff.
No, that's fine.
I probably can't say. But yeah, I'm doing a shoot for a company.
Doing a shoot for a company. I love it.
Chris, we've done this. We've done shoots. We've signed contracts. You don't want to announce something
of
before.
Course,
and they're and Milk Cosmetics is like, what the fuck? Why'd you say that on How Long Gone?
When Indigo's Converse campaign goes up, we'll know who broke the news.
Is it in the footwear space, Indigo? Give us a hint.
Oh, I can't say.
Is it a granola bar? It's a granola bar company?
It's a yogurt brand.
It'll be an unnamed yogurt brand. Okay. Well, I hope that you have fun. It's going to be 80 degrees.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Perfectly sunny for your Chobani
Whoa.
shoot. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be good for you. It's
Nice.
going to be good for you. And the album is out now. I listened to it this morning. It's very good. I liked it a lot.
And you're going to be on tour for the rest of your life. So go to her Instagram page. She has 7 different tours happening right now.
It's true. Yeah, I haven't even announced all the tours we're going on this year. It feels
You
like
ain't-
every
really?
week I'm
There's
like,
more?
here's a new tour. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
There's
Okay.
more.
Well, get it, girl.
I mean, look, it's a good place. It's a good place to be. Yeah. And good luck with everything. And like I said, next time we're all in the same city that has a mellow mushroom, we can't wait to treat you.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward
Tell
to
your
it.
sister I said what's up.
Okay, I will.
Bye.
I just can't